What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk a little bit about fear and how it holds us back. Fear, doubt, and indecision, and how all of them hold us back. I've been reading a lot of Napoleon Hill, and this is a book you should check out. It's called Think and Grow Rich. It is a phenomenal book about the mind and how it's related to your performance in pursuing goals, whether that be money, whether that be spiritual wealth, whether that be any pursuit, any accomplishment. And he talks a lot toward the end about fear and how fear holds us back. And he says fear, doubt, and indecision kind of go together. And the reason is because they kind of combine. You know, you have doubts about yourself, doubts about your competence. You have, that leads to indecision about what's the right thing to do. You're kind of waiting for other people to tell you what to do. And then that doubt and indecision, they combine together and they become fear. And he says that there's 6 basic fears. There is, let me see what these are, because I know what they are, but I want to get them right. Fear of poverty, or fear of not having food or being poor. Fear of criticism, fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love of someone, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. And each of these are the 6 major ones. There's other fears, but any other fear can kind of be categorized under these. And he talks about why these are all useless to worry about. He says worry is the thing that holds us back the most because it keeps us from actually taking action on our goals. If we fear criticism, we're not actually going to put ideas out there because we're afraid that other people are going to criticize them. But he also says that, why are we worried about criticism? Other people really don't have any control over us. We have control over ourselves, and we can't control what other people think about us. So fear of criticism is really something we should fear. He says fear of death, well, we're all going to die. Every one of us is going to die. And if we just admit to ourselves that it's going to come someday anyways, we can get beyond that fear. And we realize that fear of death is pretty useless. And then fear of poverty, well, if we're scared of poverty, we can get comfortable with living a simple life. Maybe we don't need to worry about what other people have. Maybe we just worry about what we have and we appreciate it, and we appreciate everything we have. And the fear of loss of love says, well, 99% of those fears are really unfounded, and they lead you to be more skeptical about the other person, which leads you to behave erratically and start to accuse the other person of cheating on you when they aren't. And so you put yourself in a position where you're going to lose your love anyway because you're acting like an asshole. And he goes through all these reasons why these fears are unfounded. They hold us back. And they're figments of our imagination. And the reason why they're so dangerous is because they instill in us a doubt, and they keep us from actually thinking about what we want to do. It's like an opportunity cost. We spend so much time thinking about these figments of our imagination that don't actually exist. We forget to live in the here and now, and we forget to move forward and fight the world to get what we want. Not fight the world, but we forget to pursue our goals because we're just worried all the time. I think a lot about this, and I think a lot about my own fears and trying to eliminate those fears. I did a video yesterday about how I used the gym kind of to hide out, right? Because I was hiding from my real responsibilities, but also my over obsession with becoming a bodybuilder also evolved from other fears where I was afraid of getting old. I was afraid of getting old. I was afraid of not finding a mate because I thought that every girl wanted somebody who's super jacked and super lean. Or while I've been with my current girlfriend, you know, I kept doing it because I thought that's what she wanted. I was afraid that it would, if I stopped, it would lead to a decline in my personal training business. But the fact of the matter is, I never looked that good anyway, so most people just listened to what I knew about nutrition, you know? And so it was still a really unfounded fear. And then, you know, there was kind of this fear of criticism because I've been on YouTube for the last few years and I was afraid that people were going to criticize me. Well, I don't make money off YouTube anyways. I might make $50 every 2 months. So I don't know why the hell I was so scared of that. And over the past few months since I've been working with Warrior Soul and backing off of the whole training thing, and I've moved away from bodybuilding. I did one last bodybuilding show and it almost killed me because it led to a flare-up of ulcerative colitis, and I realized how foolish I was, how dumb I was. And I also realized that most of the reason why I was doing it in the first place was because of this fear. So what do we do? How do we get over it? Well, one, you got to realize, kind of like what I'm doing on camera right now, and if I seem kind of dumbfounded, it's because I'm actually admitting this stuff to you guys, and it's kind of therapy for me. What you got to do is you have to admit to yourself that these are figments of your imagination, that they don't really matter. You have to admit to yourself that you are going to die someday. We're all just farts in the wind, as I've said in other videos. You have to admit to yourself that money doesn't really matter, and there's a whole lot you can do with your life, with or without money. You have to admit to yourself that even if your loved one does leave you, even if your girlfriend is cheating on you, well, if she is, she's probably not the person you should be with anyways, or your boyfriend. I know there's some girls who might watch this too. They're probably not worth your time anyways, and they're probably not the type of person you want to keep around you if you want to be successful. And you really allow yourself the freedom to live without fear. If we didn't worry about all this shit, then what could we pursue? We could pursue so much. We could focus on our dreams, focus on building, focus on making our businesses better, making our lives better, using our spare time to do things like learn languages. That's one thing I did today. I signed up for a Portuguese class because I'm going to Brazil this summer. I said, might as well do it. But, you know, and without that kind of fear of criticism or that fear of lost love, it really gives you an opportunity not to try to act in a way that you don't want to act, but it gives you an opportunity to be you. It gives you an opportunity to act in a way you want to act. It gives you an opportunity to be the person you want to be, because you don't have to put up any fronts. You don't have to fake something. You know, if you watch some of my old YouTube videos on my other channel, Chris Albert Fitness, I look back on that sometimes and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Because I was faking it. I was fucking delivering knowledge and what I thought was valuable knowledge, but I felt like I had to put a front on to run that channel, and that's why I don't put videos up there anymore. I haven't put a video up there, I think, in at least a month. And the other hand, talking on this channel, I feel really good. Every time I finish a video, I feel awesome. And it's because I'm able to be honest here, because all you guys are my brothers and sisters, and there is no other group of people in the world outside of my family that I'd really want to be talking to more, or serving, or delivering knowledge to, or telling about my own imperfections. Shit, I could sit here and talk to you guys for hours, but I don't have hours. So Anyways, I do love you all, and I hope no matter where you are, you're sitting there right now thinking about your fears and telling yourself how useless they are, and replacing those fears with ambitions and dreams and visions for your future. So if you guys ever want to talk, you have questions for me, you hit me up at info@warriorsoulapparel.com. Hit me up on live chat on the site. The fear is a lie. Talk to you soon. Peace.